And FG wants to talk about, I'm just going to guess, Rune Factory 5?
Yes, I'm going to talk video games and Rune Factory 5. So Rune Factory 5 came out in Japan last year, in America on the 22nd of March this year, and in Europe today, the 25th, because
Japan.
Japanese video game.
That is so odd.
Yes, it's, yeah.
What year is it? Jeez.
Yeah, right? I mean, to be fair, there were some legit reasons in a way. They added some stuff to the Western, I'm going to call it in Western release, like North American, European release, like the ability to romance whoever you like of the romanceable partners and that sort of stuff. But yeah, it was a very staggered release, and I know people were waiting for 5 for a very, very long time because there hasn't been an entry in the series in like 10 years. And this is, for those who don't know, this is like the OG life sim. So basically, because what happened is Harvest Moon came out, and then the same devs were like, Rune Factory, which is Harvest Moon, but with fantasy and dungeon crawling. So it's like one of the OG games, and now there's finally another one.
I spent so long waiting for Rune Factory 5, I forgot that I was.
Yeah, pretty much.
I just looked it up.
Same.
The last Rune Factory I played was Rune Factory 3.
Yeah.
On the 3DS.
Is that the one with the dragon?
Same.
I remember lots of fantasy things.
No, the
dragon.
big dragon, you mean Venti? That was 4.
Oh, okay. So yeah, jeez.
Yeah, but that was also a bajillion years ago. There was a re-release, a remaster for Switch, for Special, that also came out on Steam last year in December. But yeah, this is a new entry in the series, and they switched away from 2D top-down, like from top-down graphics, to 3D. And
No.
yeah, I know. Though to be fair, it is. I think you could theoretically play it because it's like over the shoulder, far away from the character.
It's almost
stuff.
an MMO perspective.
It will work, yeah.
Yeah, you could possibly play it, but the problem is with that. Not only are the graphics, they look very outdated. Like they look.
Thank you. Someone said it.
They look old. Like don't get me wrong. Like I love the game. It's Rune Factory. It's just whatever I like. Everything I wanted for another Rune Factory game. I love it for the gameplay, but the graphics. No, like even their Story of Seasons game that came out last year, Pioneers of Olive Town, looked better, and even that was already a little bit outdated. But this, ooh, really really rough, and that's not even the worst. I could forgive that because I play indie games that sometimes look, like sometimes deliberately they look old or they don't, but like I don't really care about that so much. What is the problem is the frame rate. Not only is it locked to 30.
So it's a Switch exclusive right now, right?
Yes, and the problem is the frame rate. The frame rate is the problem because it's locked to 30, but you don't ever even hit 30. That's the problem. It's so framey, and you drop frames, and then sometimes when you have a full farm plot, which is not even that many spots, it's like 100 and let's say 20 plants. When you load in, it takes a solid 10 seconds for everything to load in. So you load into the farm.
Horrible.
It's completely empty. Then the farm plots appear. Then they change color to be in the water, and then the plants will appear. It's so bad. Like, it could have been so good, but
Is this an issue of the Switch showing its age, or is this just an issue of kind of development of the game? Because like it did release a year ago in Japan.
It's the game. Yeah, it released a year ago in Japan. It had the same issues, and people were hoping that they would fix it in the meantime, but they did not. Because the thing is, Story of Seasons had the same issue as well at the start. Mostly, and that was the game as well. And that game, for some reason, they were able to fix within 3 days. And then after that, it was completely fine. But this game, it just runs. It has like adaptive resolution type stuff. But even that doesn't help with the frame rate. It just makes everything else look bad. I'm so saddened. Like I streamed it for 3 days straight, but I had to stop because I just don't think people enjoy watching it because it's so framey, and I love the gameplay and I love the gameplay loop, and I haven't even made it out of spring yet, but it's just so hard to handle and to play and to look at. And I'm so sad.
That's disappointing because I've been looking forward to it for a while.
Yeah.
Are you going to continue it then? Not for streaming, but for yourself, or
probably.
Is it so bad that you can't? Okay.
No, I will probably. I'll maybe wait a little bit and hope that they'll put out a patch. I will probably keep playing it. Some people have said that for them it was a bit better when playing in handheld mode. But like, I don't know. I haven't tried that yet. But yeah, it's just and because with that, I think so. Like, why did they have to switch to 3D if they were struggling with the engine so much? Why not just keep it top down, 2D pixel art? Because like that could have totally worked. And it's just so sad because it could have been so good.
Maybe we'll get a PC port in a few years that'll make the frame rate hit 35.
Yeah, you know what the funny thing is? People are already playing it on Switch emulators on the PC.
I was going to ask that next. It's like, have they fixed it in emulation yet?
Yes, and it runs on solid 60 on that one.
I want to see somebody running. I want to see somebody running it on a Steam Deck.
Yeah, it's so sad. The thing is, though, because they have released Friends of Mineral Town on Steam, and Story of Seasons, Pioneers of Olive Town also got a Steam release 8-ish month after the Switch release. So there is nothing's been confirmed yet. I don't want to start a rumor mill or anything like that, but I would say it's safe to assume that this will also come out on PC eventually, and I would, unless somebody really wants to play it now, I would probably just suggest waiting and seeing if the PC port maybe can get through the frame rate issues, or buy it and then emulate it if you feel bad about emulating without buying a game, which is also illegal. So buy the game and then emulate it if you really want to play it now.
Commit crimes. Screw capitalism.